Hey there. Welcome to day one of 21 Days of Presence for June 2019. I'm Adrienne Elise. So what is 21 Days of Presence? It was last fall, leading up to the equinox, that I saw this and felt this incredible portal and intensity in the astrology. And I myself was kind of spun out, and I thought that maybe some daily meditations would be really helpful for making the most of that vortex of energy and connecting with each other to support the process. And so I continue to do that then on the equinox this year, leading up to the equinox. And here we are again, June 2019. It is crazy astrology in good and bad, supportive, frustrating ways. And so we'll talk through all that as we go and take a little minute out of our day. So the 21 Days of Presence is about this idea that when we practice our presence and our mindfulness and our ability to come into a grounded presence with Mother Earth and present moment, then we can more easily access that peace when we really need it. And so the idea is that with just 5 minutes or so, 5 to 10 minutes a day, we can all find that in our life, even though we all feel like we're too busy, we can't ground out, there's so much going on in our world, so many distractions. But 5 minutes can give you a huge shift. And so that's the idea with these meditations. And so this time that we're in June is an incredibly potent situation. And so I'm just going to kind of give an overview of this June astrology, and we'll get right into grounding and coming home and present and being together and finding that place of peace within the chaos of what might be trying to shift and change for us in our world, in our internal world, our external world. So the two main astrological aspects of 2019 are happening in June at the same time, pretty much the second half of June. These are exact. So the first one is Jupiter square Neptune. So squares is where we have tension. And Jupiter, though, wants to expand. So it generally gives like a beneficial expansion energy to whatever it comes into. But there's also tension around that expansion. And with Neptune, we're looking at our delusions and our dreams and our fantasies and our lack of dealing with reality, our escapism, our programming from the Piscean age, everything that's keeping us from that Jupiter and Sagittarius energy, which is this quest and this zest for life that's been cut off from us, where we've been brainwashed over lifetimes that, oh, there's no spiritual purpose to this place. You know, that's just frou-frou, you know, that's just a crazy story, right? And yet we know inside, and we're searching and looking for the pieces of ourselves and our purpose to get back on to this quest and this reason for living. And so it's a very powerful energy, but we're coming up with those delusions and false beliefs that are in the programming that are keeping us from that. So that's part of what's happening. And then the second major aspect of this year is Saturn sextile Neptune. And so Neptune is highly activated right now. And Neptune brings an energy of confusion oftentimes, because it's like outside of time. A Neptune at home in Pisces, it's like outside of time. It's like in this vast oneness, and it feels like silly putty, and we're being stretched into a different relationship with time. But we are coming up with our delusions and also being invited to dream, to build a new world, because Saturn is our manifested reality and Neptune is those dreams, but also the delusions. And so we're just kind of feeling the whole 2019 energy, a huge culmination of it. And this is coming on the heels of last month in May, when Saturn and Pluto were the closest they'll be all year, 2 degrees apart. And then at the end of the year, and for 2020, they'll be making that conjunction with Jupiter in Capricorn. So We're leading up to this 2020 astrology, and that's why things are really intense. We're at this huge shifting point, and everybody's chart that I'm looking at these days has this written in some form in the chart. Like they have almost like a line that they're going to be crossing into a new world, a new identity, a new purpose, that's more in alignment with the truth of who they really are. The opportunity is there. Are we going to take it? Right? And so that's part of the deal with this 21 days of presence. 21. So part of it is that I have a hard time paying attention to these days and time and numbers as far as like getting it right every day. And so the fact that the 21 days lines up with the actual days leading up to the solstice is very helpful. So each daily meditation will be on that day of the calendar year. But 21 in numerology is 2 and 1 add up together to 3. And we are in a 3-year here in 2019. And 3 is an energy of creativity. It's an energy of coming together to create more than the whole, creating more than the parts. Really cool energy, and something we very much need to tap into at this time in our evolution. So a great time to do 21 days of presence, connect with each other, connect with this greater reason why we're here and what we're doing, and just claim this peace. Our world is so busy and so distracting, and that's especially true for June this year. And so it's a busy time. It's a challenge to take out this time in the day, but it can really benefit us right now and kind of ground out from that chaotic energy. And so the other thing that's happening in June, which is bringing intensity, is that Mars is coming up with an opposition. Mars in Cancer is coming up first in a conjunction with the North Node, meaning in opposition with the South Node of the Moon. That's talking about past and future, and Mars wants to go and make things happen. And why aren't we doing that? You know, where are we stuck? And so then that happens first. Then Mars comes into an opposition with Saturn and then with Pluto, highlighting how close they've been and how close they are, and telling us more about what this whole 2020 astrology is about. And Mars is can feel frustrated and not being able to move and bouncing up against these structures, Capricorn, of our life that are not adjusting to who we are and the spiritual changes that are happening within us and in our world. So it's a lot of intensity. It's also, there's something magical about it too. So we'll explore that together. And the big thing right now is to use this Neptune energy to go ahead and step out of time, right? Like time is an illusion, and we get really caught up in accomplishing and trying to do, pile our lives with a whole bunch of stuff so that we don't have to feel what we feel. And it's going to be a busy month. It's a busy month for everyone. But at the same time, it is incredibly helpful to take that time out. And so we can support each other in doing that today. So let's go ahead and get into it. Just go ahead and take a few deep breaths, feeling yourself arrive. Just right here, right now, in this moment. And go ahead and just set a delineation in your field of your own universe. And just imagine what that's like. Imagine what it would be like to move through the world in your own universe, and choosing where you're affected. Not that you're disconnected from the outside world of what's happening, but choosing about how much you give your energy and are affected by other people's process and the collective energy. This is something incredibly important. If we can't honor ourselves enough to give ourselves our own psychic space, we can't get anywhere or do anything on that true path of what we're really looking for. And so just go ahead and set that intention that you would like to experiment with being in your own beautiful bubble of light. And let's go ahead and imagine putting a root system on this bubble of light, reaching deep into the earth. Just taking a few deep breaths, and on the exhale, pushing that root system deeper and deeper into the earth. And so many of us, we've been kind of programmed to see the earth as some sort of rock or concrete ball that we're cruising around on, but she's actually a living, breathing being. And so go ahead, say hello to Mother Earth. And maybe you haven't said hello to her before in this way, in this intimate way that this North Node in Cancer is asking us to do. So just saying hello to Mother Earth and seeing what kind of response you get back. There's a beautiful message that we're in this together. And maybe when we slow down and connect to the earth and connect to the present moment, we also have an opportunity to connect with the support that's available to us in other realms, but also our soul group. And the fact that we're all here together going through similar things, even if we don't know each other and aren't in each other's 3D everyday reality. And so just go ahead and sink into this, that we're in this together. This message from Mother Earth. And see that, notice that the more quiet you can get within yourself, the more intimate relationship with Mother Earth is available. Just continuing to breathe, reaching down that root system, experimenting with receiving from Mother Earth, love, validation, recognition. And just imagine that now you are joining your heart, your electromagnetic field to the electromagnetic field of the earth. Like you're giving her a big hug, wrapping your arms all around her and receiving that love back. This is like the untapped treasure, more and more available to us as we go through this powerful shift, and the earth activates at the same time that we are activating. And so just imagine that with your breath, you're expanding and contracting in your heart with Mother Earth, like you're hugging a tree and breathing with this tree and loving and receiving from this tree. And the root systems just anchored in the earth right here, right now, giving you this moment of peace and presence. More and more easily available to you each day. Sometimes you have to, this is another message from Mother Earth apparently. She's talking about, there's this energy of like, go get really quiet. If you want to hear the magic and you want to feel the energy, you got to get really quiet and listen for the birds and the butterflies and the bees. And receive that connection and communication. That this is the place where you can most beneficiently receive any messages available for you from your highest self. Mother Earth is holding the space. Just feeling yourself quieter and quieter and more quiet inside. Creating your own sacred space. And is there some part of you that feels like you don't deserve this peace? Maybe if you're peaceful, then it's not fair to other people who can't find peace. Or maybe if you're peaceful, then you're not working hard enough. You're not struggling hard enough. Go ahead and just imagine shaking off those belief systems. And sinking deeper and deeper into the earth and just resting there, putting everything aside. You and your own Buddha ball of light, everything else out there. It'll be there when you get back, but just giving yourself a few moments within. In this place of peace and presence, everything is okay. Everything you need is here. In this outside of time. Go ahead and give yourself permission to allow yourself to rest. Just even 5 minutes a day in this place. Everything else going away. You're just right here. Just completing your moment of peace, staying here as long as you would like, bringing it into your regular everyday life, but beginning to complete your meditation, coming back into your regular everyday awareness, just taking a few deep breaths, reminding yourself of that beautiful energetic connection with Mother Earth. It's always available, where we can find peace and presence and hear the messages. Just staying here as long as you would like, and when you're ready, go ahead and complete your meditation. Well, thanks so much for joining me for day 1 of 21 days of presence. I look forward to getting deeper into this powerful astrological time with you tomorrow and as we continue. And I hope you'll consider joining a soul group session, a solstice soul group session. This is a group intuitive healing session where we look at shared past lives and get some clearings, healings, whatever comes up, connect with our soul group to get ourselves on a page with this next chapter that's trying to land in our lives at this powerful moment of the summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, winter solstice in the Southern Hemisphere, 2019. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.